This morning on Today's Money, turning unemployment into fun employment. It's a tough concept for most of the 9.5% of Americans who are out of work, but some of the newly jobless aren't pounding the pavement looking for work. They're going on vacation and catching up on some sleep. We hit the streets in search of the fun employed.
They're kind of going over to East Europe, spending time in Czechoslovakia, France.
They went to upstate New York to see the mountains.
I got another buddy who was working in the film industry. He got laid off. He decided that he wanted to go to Jamaica. Went to Jamaica for about 2.5 weeks.
We flew to Paris and went from there on the train into London and then sailed home on the Queen Mary. Now we're doing New York.
For at least a week or two, I would certainly party, go out 4 or 5 nights a week and, just enjoy myself.
This life is too short just to sit on your hands and wait for the market to come back up or to get a second job.
I think it's horrible and stupid. I think it's a drain on the economy, and the debt will catch up with them.
If you're living off of somebody else, if you're taking advantage of them, then I don't agree.
Everybody decides what they're going to do with their own life, so who am I to judge?
All right, I got to know, who are these fun employed and how are they getting away with it? Marcy Albaher writes the Working the New Economy blog for Yahoo Shine. Marcy, good morning.
Good morning, Jenna.
So the fun employed, is this unique to today or has this been around for a while? And is it because of the economy right now? I mean, what are we talking about here at the fun employed?
I don't think it's entirely unique to today, but I do think there's a unique phenomenon happened today, which is we have this new way of connecting with other people in the same position. So if you're fun employed and you put a status update on your Facebook page and you said, looked at a few job listings, now going surfing, and you send that update out to 250 closest friends, well, suddenly there's a big echo in the social media world. And
right.
A lot of these people are connecting up with each other. They're traveling, they're going on road trips, they're couch surfing around the country to visit other friends.
Who are these people? Who are the fun employed? Because I think a lot of people would be a little envious of these people.
Right. These are not people that we're necessarily running into every day, and as you said, they're not necessarily the 9% that we read about every day, but there's quite a lot of people in their 20s and 30s who don't have any financial obligations, no kids, no mortgage, maybe no pets to worry about, and they're out there kind of making the most of this time off. And in some cases, it's not all indulgence. I hear people who are taking classes, who are volunteering a lot with their free time. So when you hear the word fun, it's not all, surfing and, kind of jamming in your band. Some people are actually using that time productively and trying to do something that they've never had time for in their lives.
So it's just not that they're sitting behind a desk working. They're working in other ways.
And they're also kind of realizing that you can't look for a job 10 hours, 8 hours a day.
Right. Or they don't want to either.
Or they don't want to.
You also say geography has a lot to do with who the fun employed are.
I do think that in the Sun Belt, in areas where there's a huge outdoor life and where it's easy to do things for free, I see a lot more people talking about fun employment. There were a wave of articles coming out of LA and San Francisco where there's a big lifestyle culture where people do a lot of things that are free, camping, hiking, you could spend your day doing something outdoor that's free. Rather than kind of moping and sitting in a depressing environment.
But Marcy, what's the catch here? Because you have to assume there's got to be some consequences to all of this. There's got to be some sort of catch, right?
Well, I think the first catch is resentment by other people who cannot be in this mindset. We are talking about something that's taken hold in a privileged environment. I mean, somebody's got to be paying the bills if you're being this relaxed. So either you're living off your parents, you're living off another family member or a partner, you may be living off your former employer in the form of severance, you may be living off of Uncle Sam. I mean, there are certain people who say, I make $450 a week on unemployment benefits, and I'm going to live off that. Right. And some people who leave town, go to a place that's less expensive to live, move back home to a family member.
Yeah, mom and dad. Is there a sense that you'd be committing professional suicide here, just because when you do go back to work and your employer asks, so where did you work before this? Oh, nothing. I just took a year off to find myself.
Let's say this.
Well?
If you're in the fun employment mindset, I'd recommend not putting that as your last position on your resume. Yes, I would recommend doing some consulting, staying connected to your industry. So if you're traveling around, go, show up at industry events, go to a panel discussion or a conference so that you're kind of out there making connections in your field. If you go volunteer, chances are these days you're going to be rubbing shoulders with just the right people you should be meeting, because who's volunteering right now? All the other people in your field who are out of work.
Right.
So use this time constructively. Try to think of something that you could do that adds more skills. Let's say you want to work internationally and you have the ability to travel. Why not do a language immersion program or just learn the local language so that you come back with some kind of skill?
Good idea. Excellent. Marcy Elber, the Fun Employed. Really appreciate it.